So here we have the back panel of the ProfotoD1 studio light. Before we can use the light, we need to plug it in. To plug it in, we first need to release the cable from the Velcro strap that is tied around the handle. Once the cable is loose, we can plug it in either directly to one of the floor boxes or to an extension cable. Make sure to use cable matting where necessary. Next, we're going to look at the panel again, and if the light has been plugged in correctly, we should see a red LED indicator in the on-off switch. If you do not see this red light, check your connections again, including the kettle lead, and if you still do not see the red light, contact the technician. Next, we're going to switch the light on by pressing the on button, and you should notice that the red LED indicator now switches to green. What you will also notice is a numerical indicator at the top of the panel. This is indicating the amount of flash output we currently have dialed in to the light. This goes from a minimum output of 4 all the way up to a maximum output of 10. To change the flash output, you simply need to rotate the main dial clockwise to increase the power and anti-clockwise to decrease the power. Each click of the dial will increase the power in points. If you wish to run through the power output quicker, you can press the button in and then rotate. This will increase the power output in stop increments. Next, we're going to look at the flash output, the test button. This is an important button for testing whether the flash tube is working correctly. Once you have pressed the test button, if the flash doesn't go off, contact a technician immediately to get the flash tube checked over. If it's faulty, they will change it for you. The next button we're going to look at is the slave button. The slave button gives us two options, radio and IR. IR standing for infrared. When we're working in the studio with the Profoto Air remote, you must set the slave option to radio if you want it to communicate with the light. This is because the Air remote uses a radio signal to communicate between it and the studio light. You can also connect a infrared trigger, but these are less reliable, so we don't generally use them in the studio. To cycle between the two options, all you need to do is keep the button pressed down and the light will cycle between the two options. The next button that we're going to look at is the ready button. Again, the ready button has two options, beep and dim. What this button is doing is setting a different type of alarm, letting us know when the flash has been recycled to the desired output and is ready to use again. With the beep option, when the flash is fired, we get a small beep telling us when the flash has been recycled. With the dim option, the modeling lamp dims ever so slightly until the power has been recycled in the flash tube. The next button we're going to look at is the model button, which is located at the end of the menu system on the right hand side. Again, we have two options, prop and free. Prop stands for proportional, and when this option is selected, we get a power output from the modeling lamp which is proportional to the flash output we have dialed in on the main dial. This is a very useful option for sketching in the impact of the light on your set subject. The second option is free, and when free is selected, using the model set button, we can set the modeling lamp to a desired output, which remains fixed should we change the flash output. The next option we're going to look at is channel set, which is over on the left hand side. Channels allow the camera and the lights to speak to each other wirelessly. We can change the channel, which is designated by a number, by simply pressing the channel set button and rotating the main dial to whichever number we desire. You've got options 1 to 8. We can also change the letter in that configuration, which designates the group option. To do this, you need to press in the main dial and rotate at the same time. Here we have 6 options A to F. The big advantage of setting up groups of lights in a shoot is that you can control the power output of that light from the air remote. So once the light is set up in shoot, you don't have to interfere with it again. You can set each light in a shoot with a different group and control each light individually, or you can have 2 or more lights set as the same group and control all of them from the air remote, which is a very, very useful function. When you're finished using the studio light, you need to switch it off and then, very importantly, re-loop the cable and use the Velcro fastener to tie it around the handle of the lamp itself.